Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial on this look right here, which is a Diwali inspired look. For those of you who aren't Indian and don't celebrate it, Diwali is a huge festival in India where we celebrate new beginnings, where we celebrate the triumph of good over evil and light over darkness, and it's just a really nice celebration. Everyone gets dressed up, there are parties, there's lots of food, there's loads of sweets, there's loads of prayers, there's everything going on, there are fireworks here. Yeah, so it's just a really nice time of year. If you don't celebrate, you can still do this look. I tried to incorporate some of the lightness by having glitter and shimmer and just like having a really nice bright look to go with my feet. If you want to learn how to do this look, then please keep watching. Okay, so I've already done my eyebrows because I went out this morning and I wasn't going to take them off and redo them. I'm going to start off by using the MAC Studio Moisture Cream. I'm going to use this one because it's got a lot of hyaluronic acid in it, so it's going to really plump up my face. I've been feeling a bit dry since I've been in the UK. My nose is all crusty, I had a cold. I was meant to be vlogging just so I can keep everybody in the loop with what I'm up to, but I had no voice for a few days. My mum was loving it. At the moment, I'm currently set up in my parents' house, so this is my room. They refurbished it, I think, end of last year. You see my voice is coming back. I sound like a man for so long, but yeah, they refurbished this room at the end of last year. It was kind of like a purpley colour and I chose to be grey because I thought if I come here and I film some videos, at least there won't be any of that kind of weird colour bouncing off into my skin, because that would be crazy. I love how quiet it is as well. I used to hate that, but I love it now. There are no horns interrupting me here like there are in Manila. For my base, I'm going to be using the Fenty foundation in the shade 250, which I'll get on in a bit, but I've tried this out a couple of times off camera, but I've never used it on camera, and I'm going to mix that with the MAC Prep and Prime Essential Oils. I'm just mixing those two colours together. You can see how warm and peachy the colour is, and with the oils it makes it slightly more of a deeper colour, so I was aware of that when I was buying it. Today I'm set up in front of a huge window, so I've got so much light on me, so I look a bit fairer than I normally do, and I've got one light over here. I don't know why I feel like I'm so fair today. Normally I wear an NC 40 to 42 and I prefer the 42 because it's got the peachy undertones in there, so it's going to really colour correct all the different things on my face. I'm just going to apply it here. Can you see it's slightly warmer? Just going to blend that in with a Real Technique sponge. The way that I put this on is I do sections at a time, so I'll do one cheek and the other cheek and blend it out as I go along, because this product does dry really quickly, so I don't want to just dot it all over my face and then it dries and it's hard to blend out, because I've done that before. Take it down my neck to my forehead. Now this is why I do brows after I've done my foundation, because it's so easy just to be like. Okay, so for day to day, I really like this kind of coverage, light to medium kind of coverage with skin peeking through. If I put too much foundation on, I feel like the overall end product looks too heavy sometimes, especially for a day-to-day kind of basis. Oh, I wasn't talking about this foundation. So before I even went in and swatched anything, I had tried online, I went to Sephora and they do a colour match thing there. So I thought I was going to be around 300 to 310. I got to Harvey Nichols and there was a guy doing colour matching, and he picked out 250 and I was like, what? And then he matched it against my foundation, so I took my Makeup Forever stick foundation with me and I took my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk foundation and put a tiny bit more coverage on, especially around here, because I feel like I need a tiny bit more, but because of the oil it's not going to be such a full-on heavy coverage. He had these colour charts out. He showed me 300, 310. 300 was really neutral and 310 was really deep and warm. So we tried 290 and it had quite an olivey undertone to it, and it might have looked nice, but because I'm used to seeing my skin with more of a warmer undertone, I felt like it wasn't peachy enough. But I think that would have suited me too if I wanted that kind of olivey look. 250 worked out to have the perfect amount of warmth in there. Can you see it looks really light, and then when you look at it down here it actually matches my skin tone. Yeah, so 250 looks really light, but matched up with the Makeup Forever and the Giorgio Armani, it kind of had the same tone to it, so I went with that knowing that it dries down darker. Right, so if I show you, dries down my neck. Generally my chest area is a bit fairer than my face, and the way I correct that is I highlight my face a bit more, and I find that not only does it dry down a bit dark, I also oxidize it slightly. Just finish off my nose. I don't want to put too much foundation around my nose because it's all crusty and stuff from my cold. When I was blowing my nose it was gross, but yeah, I don't want to leave my nose out at the same time. There we are. For concealer, I'm going to go in with a mix of my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the colour Biscuit and my Tarte Shape Tape in the colour Medium. I'm going to mix these two because I feel like this one is going to give me a really nice natural cover up under my eye because it's got those warm orangey peachy hues in there. I'm going to put that NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer under the eyes and I swipe it in all the areas where I think that I need colour correction. And then I'm going to place the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer on top of that in the areas where I need brightening, because I find that the medium from Tarte Shape Tape doesn't have that peachy undertone which colour corrects, and sometimes if I use this alone I feel like I'm going grey under the eyes. So that's why I try to mix it up with a warmer concealer. I've let that sit for a little while, so I'm just going to blend that all out. I'm using the Real Technique sponge to push that product into my skin rather than blend it because I want that to stay in this area. My mirror is all the way over there, so it's really hard to see. So if I'm looking in that direction, I'm trying to look in the mirror. I've got my arm fully stretched out and I still can't touch it. It's going to be interesting when I want to do liner. I'm going to add a tiny bit more coverage on my bags because they are prominent today. I'm going to let that sit for a while and I'm going to go in with the Chanel bronzer. And I really love this. I know it's expensive but it gives me the perfect bronze and glow to any look without being too you know what I mean? So I'm just adding this to my cheekbones in a patting motion because I don't want it to move my foundation around if I go in like this. So I just pat it onto the foundation in the area that I want it. Onto my forehead or 5 head, bring that down a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Oh, it smells so good. I go in and just quickly blend that concealer out. There we go. You see, the only problem with filming in daylight is that the sun goes up and down and then you've got like crappy lighting. I'm just going to set this all quickly with some powders. For under the eye, I'm going to go in with the MAC. What is this? I use it all the time. MAC Soft Focus. I don't know what's happened to my brain since I've come here. I like forget everything. I'm just going to pat this into the eyes just to set that area and mattify it so that it doesn't look like I've got that kind of bag. It also brightens and colour correct the area too. Now the beautiful thing about this foundation is that you don't really need to set it. As I put some cream bronzer on, I'm just lightly going to set it over that area. If you want to add some contour, you can do that now, but for this look, I don't think I will be. I'm just going to go in with the Marc Jacobs bronzer in Tantric just to warm up my face because I don't want it looking too flat. I'm taking a big fluffy brush from Sigma, tapered face brush. I go through bronzers like no man's business, and I have so many Indian people say to me, especially clients, they always say to me, oh, I don't like bronzer because I don't want to look too brown. I want to look more fairer. But bronzer doesn't make you look brown. It just adds kind of dimension to your face. Well, depending on the type of bronzer you go for. So this one isn't so dark. You can see that it almost matches my skin tone. Yeah, I just love it because it adds that kind of warmth back into your face, so it makes you look more healthy and gives you a really nice glow. Next, I'm going to go in with some blush. This one is from Makeup Forever, the Sculpting Blush. I think it's number 22, the Coral Blush. I'm really loving the combination of like corally blushes with like really nice pops of colour. I find it looks more natural, whereas if I go for more of a pinky colour, it just kind of looks too much. I don't know, maybe it's just me. For highlight, I'm going to go in with Dose of Colours Miramé. This is the Desi XKT collection. I really love this highlight. I love this highlight because it's so wet looking. It's so fine that it doesn't sit into any of those pores on my face. It doesn't highlight any imperfections. It just gives you that nice glow. Woohoo. Go down the nose. I didn't buy any of the highlights from Fenty because I just found that the kilowatt, maybe it might have been the lighting on the day or I'm not really sure what it was, but the lighter, more natural side looked like there was nothing really to it. Like I can achieve the same kind of look by only applying one layer of this highlighter, and then the other side, the one which was a bit more booming, it had too much glitter in it for my liking, so I was like, I don't know if I would use that. The only colour that I really liked for my skin tone was the one with Hustler Baby in it. There was one which was too light, there was one which was too pink, and then there was one which was too like coppery almost, and then Trophy Wife was really pretty, but I know I won't use it. It was a bit too glittery for my liking as well. It was a bit too yellow. I don't think I would ever use it as a highlight, and to pay, I think it was 20 something, I don't know how much. It's £26 for a highlighter, which some people are using as eyeshadows. Now, far too expensive to be spending on one colour, which you'll be using as an eyeshadow. And then the contour sticks I tried. I really like the colour Mocha, but it was quite a dry formula and it was quite difficult to blend. And the girl I had didn't have any brushes, so I couldn't really try it out because it was so dry. I just felt like when I was trying to blend it out with my finger, it was so patchy. I don't know, when I've seen other people review it, generally they've had the best payoff when they've gone in with a brush on the actual product and then put it onto their face. But for something like that, I just want to draw it on like this. The Smashbox contour sticks, they're really good because you can draw them on and they blend out really nicely. I haven't actually used that for a while, but it's still really good. So now the face is done. With some of the remaining concealer left on this beauty blender, I'm just going to go in and slightly prime the lids. I'm going to take this light shade from the Dose of Colours Baked Browns palette, which I love. It's such a cool little palette, packed with so much punch. I wonder how this eye looks going to turn out because it's so strange not having my mirror directly in front of me. So I've just put it on my brow bone and my inner corner. Then taking a fluffy blending brush, I'm going to go in with a mix of these two into my crease. Then taking this warmer colour, this is Cherry Wood, taking another blending brush, just concentrate that right into the crease. Taking a smaller blending brush, I'm going to go in with that deep shade at the end, right on the tip of the brush. It is rock bottom. Just going to concentrate that right, you see where the crease meets the end of the eye. So not on the lid. Yeah, I got it on the lid, but not on the lid, just on the outer corner. I'm going to blend that up into a little triangle right on the outside. You see how that's like created a new bigger crease in my eye? I'm going to blend out that outer corner. And this side's a bit different because my crease actually ends out a tiny bit further. So you're just going to work with each eye and try to make them look the same. If you do this exactly the same on one eye and the other eye, then they're going to look different. You have to work with each eye individually. Mixing the last two shades here and take that on the same blending brush right with the tip. I'm just going to go along the lower lash line. Any fallout you want to wipe away with a soft brush straight away, just so it doesn't sink into the skin. Taking the Jaclyn Hill palette, I'm going to go in with this shade right here, like a shimmery brown. I'm going to take that on my MAC 242 brush. Apply that all over my lid. First I'm going to start off with directly on my lid, and then I'm going to take it up in swiping motions up to the crease, almost as if you're cutting the crease. You need to ignore any folds in your eye. You almost want to dig it right into your eye socket. You see how this one looks like it's got a really nice rounded big eye, and this one looks a tiny bit flatter. So we're just going to make this one match this one. I'm just going to go and blend those two together with nothing extra on my brush. For inner corner highlight, I'm going to go in with a mix of this one and this one. I'm quickly going to line my eyes with the 24/7 Perversion liner from Urban Decay. I'm going to tightline my upper and lower waterline. Taking this blue from the palette, I'm going to go in with a pencil brush and run it along my lower lash line. I've almost blended it into the black liner on my waterline, which can be a bit uncomfortable to do if you're not used to it. Can you see it's added a tiny bit of a hue under the eye, but it doesn't look overpowering, especially because I'm wearing such a bright, bold colour, but it just marries the two together, and because it's a cool colour against my warm brown eyes, it's going to make my eyes pop even more. I'm just going to pop on some mascara and lashes and I'll be right back. For lips, I'm going to go in with kind of a neutrally colour with a bit of warmth to it. You can actually wear any colour with this combination. I personally wouldn't wear red, but you do you. I would wear a dark pink if I could, but because I love to eat so much, I don't want to have butthole lips at the end of the night, so I'm going to go in with a lighter colour. It's the best thing about Diwali, isn't it? You can get away with eating samosa and sweets and everything you want. The more you eat, the happier people get. This is a lip liner from Rimmel. It's the Exaggerate in Addiction number 18. It's so creamy. And to top that up, I'm going to go in with Twig lipstick from MAC. To add a bit of oomph to that, I'm going going to go in with the Fenty Glow Gloss Bomb. I don't know, but I really love this on its own. Gives any lips such a nice glow. It's not overpowering, it's not gloopy. You can leave it like that if you want to, because if you're anything like me, you'd rather spend more time eating than getting ready. But if you do want to go in with a bit more, I would take maybe a deeper purpley shade like this, or any dark brown kind of shade. You can mix the two and you can go in and deepen out that outer crease, just to add some drama, especially if you're going to a Diwali party and you want to be like, push, look at me. You can deepen that out, take that into the crease, and then taking Midnight Cowboy by Urban Decay, you pop some glitter on the inner corner. So that is it for today's tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, the button is down here. Let me know in the comments down below how you celebrated this year. And if you tried out this look, I wish you all a very, very happy Diwali, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.